Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Cartoon Soup podcast. Today we are doing another comic soup where we talk about comic, manga, or graphic novel every month. And for this time, we are talking about Lumberjanes. So let's just get started. After seeing a strange woman in the woods, five Lumberjane scouts start to uncover the mysteries of the camp by going through a cave of trials and more. I'm so happy that there are lesbians in this comic, and that from the very beginning it's made clear that these two girls have romantic feelings for each other. I'm tired of media where it takes forever for two queer characters to get together, even though straight couples are allowed to get together at a much faster pace and are given more time to develop. This comic series is 20 volumes long, so I'm sure that there will be some amazing development between these two characters. It's something I am really excited for. So, I've only read the first one. I do have a bunch of the sequel volumes. This may be a stupid question, but why did the comic start off the way it did? Like, I think it would have been interesting if we actually got to see the scene the characters first talk about with the strange woman who turns into a bear. For some reason, the comic starts sometime after that, and I feel like the woman is going to be an important part of the plot, so I can't help but wonder why they cut that out. I understand that this choice was made because it might be more intriguing to start off with that plot point with the three-eyed foxes and everything, but I also feel like the bear turning woman was also pretty interesting. I don't know, I feel like it could have gone either way.
I think that the reason that they didn't put that first is because they wanted you to continue reading in order to find out what that's
Hmm.
about.
But okay, but like they could still show that scene and still have the mystery there, I feel like.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
You have to keep
Okay.
reading.
I'm guessing the Boy Scouts are werewolves, and if I'm wrong about that, I will be really annoyed because it's painfully obvious they are werewolves. Please don't tell me I'm wrong.
Don't they literally
Uh,
howl?
yeah, pretty sure. I honestly haven't read this in a while, so I forgot.
Well, they become feral. They become feral woman haters. So they might have just become redditors.
They might just have grown up and become men.
Yeah, they're literally like they're literally like "Rrr, rrr, rrr." Yeah. They're like sitting like dogs and howling.
The way you howled was so funny.
My best howl. But has it? Never mind.
No, say it.
Don't people make comparisons about like the illness of lycanthropy and like gay man?
Yeah. Yeah.
And those the boy camp is obviously filled with a bunch of homosexuals, right? Where we agree on that?
I mean, obviously.
Yeah,
Obviously. Boy
obviously.
Scouts. Okay, here's Marco's book of hard facts. Boy Scouts are homosexuals. That's one fact. Okay.
Yes. Especially since their camp director literally said girls, ew. He also called them women folk, which if this graphic novel was created like in this year, that word definitely would have been replaced with the word femoid. And then also like when one of the Boy Scouts was trying to get the other Boy Scouts to come with him, he literally said come on boys, which canonically is one of the gayest phrases in the world.
I mean, it's so obvious at this point. Like,
So obvious.
do we really have to explain it to y'all?
Yeah. I just want to say, like, it's so obvious that the camp director, the guy, was so obviously hiding his homosexuality. He was like,
Yeah.
cooking is for sissies, and I'm gonna go wrestle a bear. Like, okay, you're obviously
Okay.
having a
Okay.
lot of
Talking about toxic masculinity.
yeah,
Jesus
he
Christ.
obviously having a lot of internalized homophobia.
Yeah. Yeah. Takes one to know one.
Oh.
Sorry. Sorry.
Whoa, I'm too tired for that.
I thought that would be funny. I'm sorry. That was a bit much. I think I want this comic series to have more of a spooky vibe going forward. Obviously, I don't like horror, but something with a little bit of edge to it would be nice. And I think that's probably where the series is going. I just feel like a spooky vibe, like a Scooby-Doo kind of spooky vibe would really fit well for this comic. So I'm really hoping that's where it goes in the future. Okay, so I'm really curious how the werewolf Boy Scouts are going to get their bow and arrow back. And I'm assuming that the arrow is going to be used in some kind of battle between them. But I'm just really curious to see where that goes in the future.
I feel like I definitely have read these before, but it was years ago and I don't remember anything. But I feel like, well, okay, so they have this scene where the bow and arrow is taken off of the pedestal or whatever. What is it called? Is it called an ascot? The little gay thing around the boys' necks. There's like
The little
this
okay. Like I said, book of hard facts. Boy Scouts are homosexuals. Men who wear ascots are also homosexuals. That's another hard rule in my book. Okay.
Fred from Scooby Doo's gay.
Is that really that surprising?
No. But I guess they're called, I don't know. I'm gonna say ascots. There's a gold piece on the ascot, and it glows when they take the bow and arrow. My assumption is that the gold on the ascot is what's turning them, and not like them just like naturally being like that. So I think it's gonna be them using the bow and arrow while trying to get the ascots off of the boys.
That would be an interesting theory, and I'm curious to see where it goes.
And I bet you I'm correct, because I always am.
Well, I'll read further into it and let you know eventually.
Okay, cool. But if I'm wrong, don't tell me.
Okay, I promise I won't.
Did you read the Lumberjane field manual at the beginning of each chapter?
That's too much words for a graphic novel for me personally, so no.
Okay, well, I did, and I just want to say I love how in the Lumberjanes pledge there's a line crossed out, and on the side it says then there's a line about God or whatever. And that's something that I love, because that is something that I would do if I were one of them. I also just love how they used chapters of the field manual to introduce the next chapter of the story. And there is one chapter that specifically made me giggle. It was the Everything Under the Sun badge. And it's funny because it was like, a lumberjane must be able to measure the height of a tree, telegraph pole, and church steeple, describing methods adopted. She must be able to measure the width of a river, estimate the distance apart of two objects a known distance away and unapproachable. With this skill, she will be able to fully prepare for her adventures or tasks. Lumberjane will be able to measure a gradient, have a basic understanding of theoretical mathematics and the basic laws of physics. This will help give her a sure footing in her future career, whether it be teaching the future generations or answering the patriotic call going into the service of their country. That was funny on multiple levels, because what did I write down? The impossible expectations put upon girls and women, but also the two jobs highlighted is stereotypical woman being a teacher or selling your soul and body to the government.
That's crazy. That's so crazy. And I could see that happening in real life too.
But that was the funniest one. I feel like the other ones were just sort of like, whatever. But I wanted to highlight that one specifically. I love how April's fighting stance is simply the splits. What strategic advantage that gives her, I'm not sure, but if it works, it works. So in the tunnel, they ran into a statue that has the body of a juiced man and the head of an owl. And for some reason, all I could think of was the Court of Owls from Batman. And I kind of got angry. Like, I genuinely got angry. Not the graphic novel's fault, but like I was getting flashbacks to it was one of the Batman movies in the Damien verse, and I started getting very angry.
The way they handled the Court of Owls was terrible too in that movie.
Listen to our episode about, I don't remember which episode it was, but it was one of the Batman episodes. Listen to all of them. Also, who put their Indiana Jones reference in my queer coming-of-age graphic novel? The scene where the three Yetis are standing around and being grumpy reminds me of the scene in one of the Adventure Time episodes where those lumpy space teens, it was like this ball or whatever that turned them into humans. There was a similar vibe of edgy, petulant teen that I was getting from both those scenes, and I just had to point it out. My last note, cliffhanger. We ended on a cliffhanger. It's making me angry.
I mean, I feel like the number one rule in Mao is never make a cliffhanger in a story.
Yeah, and I'm so angry that this graphic novel that came out like 10 years ago didn't listen to me. Didn't bend to my every whim.
Well, overall, I found this to be a very fun YA middle grade comic. I like the fact that there is a lesbian romance in here. I think this can go some very interesting places. I hope that it's going to go in a more spooky route, because I feel like they could really hit well with that route. I just think this was very fun and also gay, which was great in my book.
Now, maybe this is just me growing up in a very heteronormative society, but were there sprinklings of, what was her name, the ginger girl and the little boy scout with black hair? They seemed friendly. I don't know if we're gonna get a much needed representation of a platonic relationship between a boy and a girl, or if they're gonna make them gross heterosexuals.
Or maybe it'll be a beard situation.
The secret third option. But I hope they go with platonic guy-girl friendships, because we do need a lot more of those.
So that way, guys will realize that women are normal people.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know how many straight guys are reading Lumberjanes.
You're so right. You're so right. We need that kind of trope in other pieces of media, I guess.
They have to make a spin-off for the Boy Scouts. I agree with everything you said, especially about how it's sort of just nice light fun. I don't know if I will be continuing with this series. I think if they ever release an omnibus of this, maybe I'll pick that up. But yeah, I think it's just a little too, you know what? I will follow your lead. You can give me updates on how the story is unfolding, and I'll see whether or not I want to continue. But for now, I just feel like there's not enough for me in this to continue reading. I did love the explicit lesbian relationship. I do know, spoilers, Marco. I do know that at some point they do like have a very cute kiss. But yeah, I don't think that's enough for me.
Okay, well, anyways, you guys, that's yes, heart. I can't do the heart. Am I doing it
I
right?
learned about this last year. No, you're doing it horribly.
K-pop. You know the K-pop part?
Stop. Stop.
I don't even listen
Stop
to
it.
K-pop. I don't
Stop.
even listen.
You
I
are
don't even
summoning demons we don't need.
Okay, let me just explain. I don't even listen to K-pop. I just know that one of the YouTubers I watch does this, and she explained like, oh yeah, it's because of the K-pop art. Anyways, that's everything for now. Social medias are in the description, and that's everything. So goodbye, and don't let your brains become soup. You sound so disappointed.